you know, one of the things I think I'm pretty good at, maybe I'm not. Maybe it's just all in my head. But I think I'm pretty good at noticing scams and manipulations and things like that. Now, I'm not perfect. I've been fooled before. But I'm pretty good, I think, at understanding when I'm being manipulated or maneuvered. I remember one time, actually this has happened a couple times in my YouTube career, where someone who reached out to me, I just kind of got the feeling that I was being like handled. You know what I mean? Like they were trying to get me to talk about certain things, and they were trying to get me to not talk about certain other things, and they kind of promised like without really promising it, but sort of the kind of dangling, oh, you could have a bigger audience and then I can help you and stuff like that. And I just always kind of kept those people at arm's length. And then I mean, I don't have any proof that they had any malintent, but certain things have come out about these people that, you know, not really so sure about them. But anyway, that's beside the point. What's the deal with this Gettr thing? I get a lot of Gospel Coalition, like gatekeeper vibes from Gettr. In fact, I think probably some of the Gospel Coalition types that are still trying to hold on to their conservatism in some regard will end up on Gettr as like I'm going to take a bold stand for free speech. So they're going to go to Gettr. And it's obviously a scam because there's no free speech on Gettr. There's free speech so long as your opinions are correct or at least approved. I mean, you can have some false opinions, but if they're unapproved and they're like, if they're a little dirty or icky sounding, then you probably can't. Like, you can't say groiper on Gettr. What's that? Hardly anybody knows what a groiper is, but you can't say groiper because, well, really, why exactly? Nobody knows. I've heard some things that's like allegedly an anti-Semitic thing or something. I mean, what's not an anti-Semitic thing at this point? Like if I went over to Grindr right now and I said that I had read Martin Luther's last book, you know, the very scary one where you're not supposed to say that he was in his right mind when he wrote it. Like you're allowed to like Martin Luther, but you have to believe that he went crazy in his old age because then he wrote that book. You know the book I'm talking about, The Jews and Their Lies. Yeah. I wonder if I went to Gettr and I said, hey, I read that book, but I didn't see what the big deal was. It wasn't that bad. Am I allowed to say that? I mean, in the book, he basically says that Jews blaspheme Christ. They do blaspheme Christ. Jews blaspheme Christ all the time. That's what they do. So I wonder if you're allowed to say that. I don't know. Is that anti-Semitic? Is that approved, or would I be accused of being a groiper? I don't know. But this Gettr thing, yeah, it certainly seems like a scam. Like, I don't mean like you're going to be scammed out of money, although maybe, because you know, there's a lot of grifters out there. I don't think you're going to necessarily be scammed out of money, but it definitely doesn't really seem like it's very free speech. In fact, they were bragging on Gab that they have an approved app in the App Store. Like, that's not going to get any traction with the Gab crowd. Like you're bragging about something you ought to be ashamed of. Like, you jump through all their hoops. You agree to silence the icky speech so that way you could get on the App Store. It's pathetic. It's just pathetic. But actually, I think this is actually a good thing. Marcus had a post that said that basically, you know, the real Christian, you know, the companies that have some real foundations, they're always gonna be there. They're gonna survive. They're gonna last. And then these fake ones, where like, you know, you were a liberal like a day ago, and now you're in charge of the biggest conservative thing ever. Like those kind of fake things where it's an obvious scam. Those are going to go by the wayside, obviously. But it's going to be good, though, I think, in the short term, because they're trying to, like, break up Gab, which is very, very bizarre. Because, look, when it comes to free speech, it's like the Nelly Furtado song, no hay igual. There is no equal. Gab is the only place where I know that I could say literally anything I want to say, so long as it's not pornographic or illegal. And, like a threat. I'm talking about, like, threats, stuff like that. Gab's the only place where I don't have to worry about being deplatformed. Like, I'm serious. If I went to Gettr and I said that I thought that Martin Luther's last book was actually pretty good, would that, like, I don't know, would that get me banned? I mean, the fact that I even have to ask the question proves that it's not a free speech platform, and that's just all there is to it. But there is no equal to Gab. They're not going to be able to splinter the Gab community. And the thing is, these idiots, they just can't figure this one out. And I just don't understand why it's so hard to figure out. Well, I think they're being paid not to figure it out. But the more they kind of put us in this one little community where, like, we're all on Gab, all of us who have the same foundations, that have the same beliefs, all the Christians that refuse to even worry that I wonder if it's going to be hate speech if I say that, I believe that homosexuality should be completely outlawed. It should be a crime. Like all of us who believe that very dangerous, unapproved, icky stuff, we're all in one space. Like, don't they see how that's going to strengthen us? Like, we all know each other now. We all feed off each other now. We're all buying each other's merchandise, and we're all creating our own companies and our own economies. You don't think that this is going to backfire, Gettr? You guys can gatekeep. Look, all of the limp-wristed kind of conservative types, that think that there's room in our societies for demon transsexuals reading to little kids in the bookstores. Like, all of you kind of conservatives, I'm glad you're in Gettr. I'm glad you have your own little communities where you guys can be respectable because you celebrated the monkey dildo demon reading to little kids. Like, I'm okay with you guys not being on Gab. If you want to come to Gab, that's okay. I mean, I don't think you're going to like it very much over here because, you don't have to pretend like Martin Luther lost his mind at the end of his life. But, just saying, it's actually really not that bad a book if you've ever read it. There's some things that I wonder if they were true that he says about the Jewish community of his time. But most of it is so tame. It's just like basic stuff. Like, yeah, they hate Christ, and I don't like that. And neither do I. How simple as that. But anyway, so yeah, I don't get the Gettr thing. I don't get the attraction. Like the fact that they can even build themselves as a free speech platform is one of the most funniest things ever. But again, this just only serves to strengthen Gab, because you're not going to be able to go there and say what you need to say about the scriptures, because the scriptures, these guys hate them. They hate what it actually says. Like, it doesn't say that slavery is the worst thing since sliced bread. It simply doesn't say that. And I'm okay with that. I mean, are you? I don't know. Is that hate speech on Gab? That hate speech is very, very dangerous hate speech to say that slavery is not blanket condemned in the scripture. In fact, we should actually have a sort of slave system right now where, you steal, you pay back what you stole plus interest, and if you can't pay, you work for that other person until you pay off your debt. In other words, you work off the debt that your thievery cost you. That's a slavery system. We should bring that back, actually. In any case, yeah. Well, I guess that's all I have for you today. I just thought this Gettr thing, it's just a very weasel. There's a lot of weaselly stuff going on these days, and then they got Joe Rogan in there and stuff like that. I don't know. But if any of you are gonna get a Gettr account. If you're gonna get a Gettr account, let me know. I want to know which Big Eva goons end up there, because I've got some special plans for those folks. I do. In any case, I hope you found this video helpful. Oh, I did have a conversation with somebody, young guy, like a 19-year-old, who's just very troubled about a lot of the goings-on of Big Eva, and he's been handled by some people, and they're kind of just dismissing his concerns. And you're not edifying yourself. You're not working on your sanctification because you watched the wrong videos or you watched the wrong movies. And it's like this kind of spiritual manipulation stuff. I'm very good at detecting this manipulation stuff, as I've said. At least I think so. And I've got some advice for people that are undergoing this kind of manipulation. In any case, I hope you found. I've got a very special episode tomorrow about the January 6th insurrection and the scam of that. But I actually have very fond memories of January 6th, looking back. And anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful. God bless.